I'm Moriarty, and this is Handheld Mistress, and I'm here to talk about books again. Today is the 2nd of July, and I have completed Five Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I didn't really know where she was going to take it, and I was thoroughly invested all the way up into the end. The reason it gets a 4.5 instead of 5 is that I did not like the ending. And that happens all the time, and I'm annoyed about it. So the story is about a main character. Her name is Mira, and her aunt passes away, and her mom is taking it really, really hard. So Mira has to be strong. It's Christmas Eve. Mira comes back from San Diego to her hometown of Pittsburgh, but the plane has a layover and it is delayed, essentially keeping her from getting to her parents on time. She meets a girl on the plane. Her name is Harper, and she's very well put together, this, that, and the third and the other, and they really hit it off. Harper decides that she's going to rent a car in the snowstorm that delays the plane and drive home. And she invites Mira to see if she wants her to drop her off in Pittsburgh so that she can get home. So Mira accepts the invitation, gets to the car, and realizes there are 3 other people there. And she makes the incorrect assumption that Harper knows the other 3 people. She does not. So now all 5 of them are in a car with strangers that they have not met before this encounter. They're driving through the wilderness, through a snowstorm that is increasing every couple of pages, to the point to where it's slow going. There are car crashes, all kinds of things occur, and you're just not too sure. I think the most interesting thing about the story is that she encompasses the terror and the uneasiness you would normally feel if you were in a car with strangers, and then ratchets it up to like 100%. Mira's unsure if she's actually experiencing these things or if she's just getting like late grief responses. Like, they're unsure about every person. Things start to go missing. They're trying to figure out who's taking things. There's a whole like chase scene. Like, the story is really, really, really good, and I really enjoyed it. I just hated that fucking ending. That ending was trash. That ending was trash. But I was very interested in the rest of the story, and I like the way that she writes thrillers. There are quite a few on the back here, so I think I'm gonna go check those out. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars. First book, finished in July. And I actually just came back from the library, so I got a bunch of others that I'm going to go over with you guys later and hopefully get to. Yay! New book down! Hi guys! Today is July 5th, 2021, and I just finished another book. So this is The Oracle Code by, I think her name is Marieke Nijinkamp. She's also the author of Even If We Break, and it's illustrated by Manuel Prietano. This follows Babs right after her accident. It's YA, so the story has been greatly altered, but the gist is that Babs is a master hacker with her friend Ben. She's on a rooftop when they hear that there's an armed robbery, and they go check it out. This is before she becomes Batgirl. This is before she becomes Oracle, so she's just regular teenage Babs. When she gets there, she winds up being shot by the assailant and paralyzed to where she will need a wheelchair and physical therapy. Her dad takes her to this rehabilitation center called the Arkham Center for Independence. And it's Arkham, so you already know some funky shit is going on. There, she discovers new friends, new responsibilities, and new mysteries. I was very excited. I love Babs. I feel like she doesn't get to tell her story often enough. It's always overclouded by the Killing Joke. So when I saw a different aspect, I was very excited to read it. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. It's a very quick read. I read it in like less than an hour. The art, pretty decent. So there are these little like pop-ups of stories, and the stories are illustrated differently than the rest. So this is what it normally looks like, and that's the stories. And this is my favorite story. Yeah, but this one is my favorite. Like, look at those illustrations. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I do wish they delved a little bit into the experimentations and stuff that was going on, because I'm a nosy bitch and I want to know. But it is YA, so it's going to be a lot cleaner than anything else. But yeah, five out of 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I finished it in an hour. Very, very, very good. Kind of dark when you think about it. It's still pretty light in comparison, but it's kind of dark when you think about the fact that the kids that just leave the center are being experimented on. Now I'm going to go ahead and read the next books on my list. Look, they have books in other languages. I think that's French. To all the boys I've loved before. Hey guys, today is July 19th, 2021, and I have completed another novel. I just finished Every Last Fear by Alex Finley. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was fucking amazing. I was on the edge of my seat every chapter, every page, every twist, every turn. So fucking good. Oh my god, you guys, this book, 5 out of 5 stars, fucking amazing. The twists and turns in this novel, the people who you thought were on your side and weren't, like, guys, oh my god. This makes I Know You Remember seem like an episode of Scooby-Doo. Like, not even on the same caliber, and that was one of the most twistiest novels I'd ever read. So you can only imagine what this book has done to me. My emotions. This mystery was so good. Oh my god. Okay. This book is about a boy. His name is Matt. He's a college student. He has an older brother, Danny. Danny is in jail because he has been convicted of murdering his girlfriend, Charlotte. Murdering her by dropping a rock on her head. They're at a party, they get drunk, they have an argument. He throws her body into a wheelbarrow and disposes of her in the creek near his house, and then smashes her head with a rock. He gets pulled in by Nebraskan cops that don't know anything, and they basically take like a false confession, and they're like, oh, you confessed, you're going to jail. And there's a whole big to-do. There's false confession talk. There's armchair detectives. The police, they don't care. And he goes to jail. And then there's a Netflix show. They want to clear his name. So they interview everybody. They put together this whole story about how he's innocent, this, that, and the third, and the other. The story picks up when FBI agent Keller arrives in New York to talk to Matt because his family, who were on spring break in Mexico, died. All 4 of them. His 2 younger siblings, Maggie, Tommy, and then his parents. So his brother's in jail for a crime he didn't commit. His family goes on vacation and they all perish. And now it's just Danny and Matt. The twists and turns are what make this book so enjoyable, because the upheaval and just the heaping on of sadness and tragedy for this poor Matt character is just beyond. Really kind of fucked with my emotions, quite honestly, because I'm used to a mystery where your main characters are either part of the mystery, part of the crime, trying to solve the crime, and maybe there's 1 to 2 deaths, or something's missing, or they've got to figure it out before they'll die too. That's the kind of mystery that I'm used to reading. I'm not used to reading death in this fashion. Unfortunately, I know you kind of delve into the life of someone once they die and you're trying to solve the crime, but a lot of the mysteries that I read don't make the dead people personified. They're just dead. These are the people, this is the life they've led, now they're dead. Now here's our hero. We need to figure out how they died. But this book really encompassed what the characters were, their life ambitions, their goals, what they like to do, why they were important to each other. Like, you knew the Pine family, even though they have literally been dead since chapter 2. And when you see that kind of in-depth background, everything hurts more. Right now, I'm just like, holy fucking shit, this book was amazing. Every Last Fear by Alex Finley. If you have not read it, go read it. I'm releasing it to the library right now, so if you're in my area, there's no excuse. Read this goddamn novel. 5 out of 5 stars. Easily my favorite book I've read so far this year. Last year. Year before last. Easily favorite new murder mystery novel. So good. So tangible. I just finished In the Hall with the Knife by Diana Peter Freund. It is a clue mystery. It is #1 in the series. I just finished it. It was decently good. It had a lot of build up and the conclusion kind of let me down. So I give it like a 4. Conclusion let me down, but there's a second novel, so I don't know if maybe the conclusion isn't finished and they wanted it to be a little bit of like a cliffhanger, and that's why it's not done. So I'm going to keep comments about the conclusion to myself. I just want to talk about the actual book. So all of the characters are based on characters from Clue. Scarlet, Plum, Green, Mustard, Peacock. I really like how they incorporated those characters and turned them into like full-fledged characters with motivations and feelings and emotions. I think they did a really, really, really good job with that. I am quite partial to Scarlet and Plum, Mustard, and Orchid. Green is growing on me, but he has a little bit of a bad boy side, so that was interesting to see, especially if you've played the games or you've seen the movie. I did highlight quite a few things in the novel that I liked, quotes and different things like that. There were a lot of Clue movie references in this book, which I loved. Mustard, like, if I was the killer, like, I said if, like, that, even that was in there, which was really cool. I just liked the fact that they brought Clue into, like, a more modern time. There's cell phones, there's internet, there's all kinds of stuff. I'm really hoping that they do some organization, because I finished the book and I'm just confused. I'm just confused. Like, did they do it? Did they not do it? Are they covering for somebody? The second book in the series is In the Study with the Wrench. I picked this up from the library and realized that I still hadn't completed the first one, so then I rented the first one from the library. Thankfully it was available and I was able to complete it today. Today, July 21st. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm gonna be 30. I've been ready for that conversation, so we're moving on from there. But yeah, so In the Hall with the Knife is about the Clue gang, and Mr. Body ends up dead. They're at a school called Blackbrook. All of the main characters, except for Mrs. White, are students at the school. Mrs. White is like a caretaker. There's a huge snowstorm, and kids that are trying to get off the island get off, but the main crew don't get off in time. They all wind up staying in the Tudor house, which is one of the girls' dorms. And then things go missing, murder occurs, and because it's so hard to get off the island, it has to have been one of them who did it, and thus the mystery starts. Like I said, the characters were very colorful, very vibrant. I really liked the development of them. I really liked the way that the story played out. I liked how every clue was presented to almost every person in the group. Like, the chapters weren't necessarily chapters, they were just different people's thoughts. So it would go from Scarlet to Green to, and you always knew who the main voice of the chapter was. I think she did a really good job of organizing the story so that even though it is being told in so many voices, you aren't confused about who it is, what the plot is, and how it's going forward. It's interesting the twist put into it, and I'm hoping to see it boom a little bit more because kind of just threw it in at the end. Solid start, 4 out of 5 stars. The end of the book actually includes the first 2 chapters of this guy, so I'm going to finish it here and then move on to this hopefully and get this completed. Weighing in at 327 pages. Hopefully this won't be too long of a read. So yeah, this is my next book. Again, I give In the Hall with the Knife by Diana Peterfoyd 4 out of 5 stars. Decently enjoyable, especially if you like Clue. If you've read it, let me know about it in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out!